Wow. What did we just witness? The worst kept secret ever? Maybe. Probably. But you just witnessed the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered Direct. That is coming to you today. Maybe even now. I don't know. We'll have to check after this stream. I'm joined by the wonderful, talented, incredible Wes Johnson. You.
Ah, hi.
And Wes, who do you have here with you?
This is Finn. Oh, yes, he knows his name now. Hello there, Finn. How are you? I mean, for the sake of this, we can call him Barbas if you'd like, but he's a sweetie pie, and he wanted to get his time, Mr. DeMille.
That makes sense. I wouldn't. If I had a new puppy, I would totally bring that puppy with me every.
I gotta pay attention to the time, guys. I've got physical therapy today. What time is it?
Song?
No.
He's like, I take my puppy everywhere.
Well, for you, those of you joining us, either new or from the Direct, we're going to be sharing some gameplay of Wes's old stomping grounds, but newer now with the remastered version.
I can't wait.
So, Wes, for those that do not know you, first, shame on you if you don't, but if you don't, why don't you tell our friends here what role you have done in Oblivion?
In Oblivion, you're going to probably bring some memes back to life.
Can't wait.
So if like you walk out of someplace with a fork, I would be there going, "Hold, criminal scum! Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Pay with your blood." That's a lovely one. The
That's
Imperial Guard
aggressive.
song is out there now, and all sorts of things that people had fun with. Sheogorath, Daedric Prince of Madness, at your service. And I love this because I'll never be able to order a cheese pizza again, because people use the soundboard, and they call the pizza shops, and they're saying, what can I do for you today? Cheese! You want a cheese pizza? I want cheese for everyone! Oh, how many would that be, sir? And so I can't call anywhere as Sheogorath to order a pizza because I'll never get it, or I'll get it with a lot of spit.
I mean, honestly, you're doing everybody a favor if you do. So.
Yeah.
I mean, and your shirt is totally on theme today as well.
Yeah, wearing my Sheo shirt. I've got, and of course, there's, where is it? My Dark Brotherhood pin here. Lucian LeChance of the Dark Brotherhood, dear child of Sithis. I don't spread rumors, dear child. I create them. So, yeah, I loved Oblivion. Oblivion to me was, I mean, I've loved all the games. I loved Morrowind. Ah, yes, we've been expecting you. Come right in. I love Skyrim, which is fantastic, but Oblivion to me was where I came out to play. And it was the original, all the races had the same voices. Oh man, there's so much crossbreeding amongst the Imperial Guard, you know.
Hang on, guys. I gotta check a couple
Mom,
things
Dad,
really quick.
The family reunions were very confusing.
All right.
But
It's a lot of love.
I know. But I just absolutely loved that game. And as other games came along, and then you got to see Skyrim with its 10th anniversary edition. And when I first put that on the Xbox Series X, oh my God, the visuals to me were just, I was blown away. And to make Oblivion now have that kind of feel, that kind of look, the gameplay, the graphics, I mean, if I walk up to a lady in the middle of one of the towns and tap her on the shoulder and she turns around and does not look like Terry Jones in drag from Monty Python, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I mean, I love the game. So now people are going to get a chance to see it with brand new eyes. And for people who have only ever played Skyrim, this is going to be kind of a revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the predecessor, so it's taking people back.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
All right, so now they're showing off some gameplay.
This is the Mouth to the Shivering Isles. Look at the difference, the graphics, how sumptuous it is, the detail on this. Not just on
my schedule is the issue, JK.
Not just every leaf on the
Because
tree, but looking at the
like
the clothing,
once they get
uniforms
into
that they're
June,
wearing. I mean, he's wearing leather, and he's wearing
I mean,
some
one could argue that this
fur,
will always
and
be
you're
there as
seeing
well. The
all
problem
the
is
details
this,
on
I guarantee
every
you I'm going to
little
get way
thing.
more traffic playing
This
this than I'll
guard
get.
right here?
I mean, we're getting good numbers playing Baldur's Gate
This
3. We're getting
guard,
60, 70
people are
people
like,
tuning in
"That's
every
so
morning. But
effective. He seems to have
this is
cold out
going to
there
be
in the middle
hot,
of this,
and I would be stupid
this
not to play this. But at the same
island where
time,
the
I've got
wind's
Expedition
whipping
33
around,
starting.
and I had a cold. I was really, really sick that day. But
What I
You
may
don't
end
have
up
to go that
doing,
hard into the role, Wes.
I know, I'm method, so method.
I may end up shuffling the
But
Days
look
Gone
at that.
remaster
There's the
back is
doors
what
of the
it'll
friend,
add
but
Baldur's Gate
inside,
3.
what's
Like
gonna
I
happen?
have to. I'll be thinking about this
Oh,
at my
look at the
physical therapy today and
screens.
try to
Look at the
figure out.
screens. The loading screens look so much
I would be stupid
sweeter
not to
and
jump
more
on this and start
detailed.
playing this
And
afternoon as
there
soon
he
as I get
is.
home from physical
Haskell,
therapy.
look at him, sitting there all bald and boring. Haskell, your room's very dark, just like your personality.
Yeah, I'm
Hurry
thinking
up and
that's the
talk.
case, Drip
Oh,
Brum.
look at
And,
the
you know,
detail
putting
on
Baldur's Gate
Haskell's
3 on
face.
hold and just saying, you know
can
what?
really see what living with Shea
That
Gordon has
playthrough
done
can
to him.
happen at any point in
He
time.
looks like
But the thing was,
Marley's
is I
ghost
had
there.
that window in
I mean,
May.
this is the first time you're seeing the remastered,
This is the first
isn't it?
time I've seen any of this, and the detail and the expression on the face, he just looks so weary, so put upon.
Well, it's been almost 20 years, so we've had a lot of ability for technical advancements from there. So
Yes,
My gut
and
reaction
imagine
right
And
now
age,
is
I
that I'm
guess,
gonna.
20,
as well.
20 years in the service of Shea.
Well, it's
Gordon
downloading
is
on the
gonna age
Xbox right
anyway.
now. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Hang on, I gotta
I
go
like
see
his
how long
puffy
it's gonna take
sleeves
to
there.
download.
Like
It's
the
gonna
little
take
Seinfeld
forever.
puffy sleeves.
It's gonna take
Now,
forever
what
to
would you
download.
say your favorite role has
I may not
been
be playing
for Oblivion, or
Oblivion
which
today.
character do you feel
Just
like you
depends on how long the
gravitated most
download
towards?
Well, that's the thing. People ask me all the time, who's your favorite character to play this? And that's a Sophie's choice. Because you bring a little of yourself to every role you do. You got to bring, these are all like my children. So, I mean, I love Lucian. I love Shea Gorath. I love them all for very different reasons. I remember working with Mark Lampert for this game, and we're doing the same Imperial Guard voice, even the Gray Fox, like capital, but he's still very much the Imperial.
Exactly, Mika.
But
Where's
then he
all the
gets to
Bethesda
Lucian,
only
he goes,
makes
"This
bad
guy's
games?
different."
Where are those trolls at right now? You know what they're
Dark, a
doing?
little
They're
more
over there
tough. So I
doing
think
this to
about
Todd
this,
Howard.
and I start going into this
That's
thing, and
exactly
in
what's
my
going on.
mind, you try to get an
Todd, would
image
you
of
like a
who the
reach around,
character
sir?
is. And for me, he was twisted.
Todd, where do you want your money shot?
bent, and just insidious.
Does it take you? Is it that quick for you sometimes when you like get a breakdown of a character?
Sometimes it can, and sometimes I take time. Shea was a different thing, but with Lucian, I had a come here, Bubby. It's okay. With Lucian,
Oh, mine's telling me 11 hours,
the
Drip Rum,
image
which
I
is
had
not
in my
normal.
mind as I portrayed him at first was completely different from the image of what he ended up
Hang on a
looking
second.
like. You know, he ended up looking. They made him this gorgeous guy. You know, and when we're looking at him, going, "Oh my God, he's gorgeous. He has a heart of darkness, the perfect man." So, but he was so much fun to do. And people say, "Do you know what happened to him?"
I just went in and plugged in the wired connection to
You
see
just
if that
finish your line.
gives me a better
So
download.
when I'm playing the game and I get to that point in the game,
I
I'm
mean,
like,
if it finishes
you
download,
know, I'm
downloading.
experiencing it as well. Oh, look,
I'll
look at this,
I'll
the
check it
butterflies.
today when I get back
The
from physical therapy and
breakaway
everything
into
else.
The Shivering Isles and the butterflies.
Hang on. Yeah, I plugged it in and I jumped
That is
from 30
beautiful.
megabytes per second to 330
And Haskell's
megabytes per
out of
second.
there.
So let's give it a minute to see
It's
how
quitting time.
long it'll download.
Look at that. Through the fringe.
The new UI looks
of
really, really good.
madness. Yeah, with Shea Gorath, I had about a week to prepare. And I was told, we want something a little more stand-up, but we want him to feel dangerous but funny. And they said, maybe something like Robin Williams. And I thought, no, Robin Williams was a bit too cuddly, you know. As Shea Gorath, I'll skip rope with your entrails. I don't believe you. So,
admittedly, that would be an interesting thing
yeah.
to see Robin Williams talking about.
I know, but I thought, where could I find my inspiration for this character? And I started thinking about different stand-up comedians who would I find dangerous, that I would love to have a drink with, and laugh and joke, but afraid they might beat me up at the end of the night. And I came up with Billy.
Yeah, even at
Connolly, the
300
Scottish
megabytes per
Yes.
second, it's still telling me
And
9
but I
hours to
thought, I
download.
can't
So I think it's
do
just going to
straight
depend
up
on
Billy Connolly.
the
He can
Xbox
be my spirit
store
animal,
is getting hammered.
but it didn't seem.
So if it's
It
finished
felt
when I
to
get home
me,
from physical
He's
therapy,
not Scottish.
I'll play it this
And I
afternoon.
thought, well, I've got this friend who runs
If
Irish
not, then I
Trail
will
down
start
at
first thing
BC. His
tomorrow
name's Tom
morning, and the
Stack.
Baldur's Gate 3
It's
playthrough will
from-
definitely be on
it's
hold.
from-
However,
it's
this
from
is the
Car
big
Cracker.
thing, guys. Like Expedition 33
And
starts
so there's
on
this Irish accent, and I thought, what
Thursday,
if,
and I gotta
what
prioritize
if,
that as a
because
new
he's got
release.
mania and dementia,
So
this character can go between an
probably
accent
what we'll do is
fluidly.
my
Like
gut
you
reaction
think he
right
might
now
be
is I
Irish,
will play
you
Expedition
think then
33 in the
maybe he's
mornings
Scottish
and
when he gets
Oblivion in
more
the
manic.
afternoons until I
But
finish
what
up
happens
Expedition
when he gets
33,
deadly serious?
and then I
There are
will
a few moments
move
where it
Oblivion
drops
to the morning
completely.
slots and move the Days
Why?
Gone remaster into the
Because
afternoon slots, which means I'll be starting the
everything
Days
else
Gone
is an
remake about a week later
affectation.
than I planned
He
on.
does what he wishes
And the Baldur's
to
Gate 3
do.
thing is just going to go completely
And
on
so,
pause for the
like
moment.
the brain pie line,
Um,
where you'll hear all three separate things,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, and he starts
it's
wondering
going
what
down
you're
right
like.
now. It
Perhaps
says 7
brain
hours,
pie.
44 minutes, so it's probably just going to take it a
Perfect.
little bit to go down to
Get
whatever
to
it's going to
doing
be.
Adds an extra layer.
Yeah, my
to
Expedition
your
33 is already
experience,
preloaded
for
on
sure.
the Xbox,
just
ready to
don't
go.
know where he's going to land with some of these things. Whether it's friendly, whether it's deadly, whether it's over the top, whether he's crazy mad. I just had to sit there and let that thing flow back and forth. And I think from what I was told later, Todd was listening to it and they weren't expecting that. And so it threw him off a little at first. And then the more he listened to it, the more he was like, oh, no, I like this. I like this. And that's who Sheo became.
And you define the character through multiple games and multiple universes.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing to be able. I love more than anything trying to figure out who a character is, and the Rubik's cube of their personality and the whole thing.
And I imagine though the character is designed by somebody else, that you get to input a lot of your influence and sort of direction on it, even still.
Well, you have to bring a sense of life to it. Mm-hmm. Whereas when someone is writing it, they're bringing their sense of life to it, their experience. But you don't know their experience, but you know the circumstances of the character, and you can build something upon the character, and then.
Thanks, Otherworldly. I appreciate it.
You know, live in that.
Speaking of Star Wars Outlaws, we got the DLC coming up on the 15th.
Somewhat that character, which is why.
And then Death Stranding 2 at the end of June.
Like
God, June is another month. I'm going to be. It's crazy.
No.
Dune Awakening, Tales of the Shire, The Altars, and Death Stranding 2 all happening in the same month. Like, where do I?
That would also be terrifying.
How do I sleep?
Yeah.
Where do I
Mel
sleep?
Blanc
When do I
used to
sleep?
Look at
Like
the photographs of the characters that he was doing, and would base them on that. Like Socio Sogala from Morrowind, I saw him. So every one of the Bretons seemed like an old bald guy with a goatee. But you look at Hermaeus Mora and you're like, 1,000,000 eyeballs and 1,000,000 tentacles. What does that sound like? And you know, I worked with D.B. Cooper as the director for the ESO. Mm-hmm. And we had to do some adaptation because he was very slow and ponderous in some of the earlier games, and with clips and lisps and clicks and all this. But I adapted it but kept it the same as well. And the explanation that I come up with, why does he sound a little bit different? Where on Hermaeus Mora do you see a mouth?
I don't even want to know where the mouth is, honestly.
I know. I think you're hearing him telepathically. And just like with every telepathic thing, you may have a better receptor to hear than another character would have.
Yeah, that makes
sense. Some
sense.
people would have a less sensory perception, and so it might be a little more muddled. It might be a little more clicky, might be a little draggy, because that is how your extrasensory perception of their voice is. However, if you're a little stronger and you've got a little bit more going for you in that regard.
By the way, let's go check the download.
It's a little clearer.
It's down to 4
It's like
hours
the
and
difference
34 minutes
between
now,
the
so it's still
Beatles,
coming down.
Listening to Helter Skelter on vinyl.
So we'll see. It'll probably,
on,
to be honest with you,
CD.
if I'm lucky, it'll be done downloading by the time I get back from physical therapy. I'm done with the Dune Awakening preview build. So yeah. I could actually come back and play this afternoon, assuming the download is done.
Long answer, but
otherwise I'll start tomorrow morning bright and early. We'll start. We're gonna.
And I know you don't have necessarily a favorite character.
I have to, at this point, it's like.
A favorite line that you've done, or at least like maybe a handful of lines.
I do love.
I haven't played the game in 20 years.
Lucy and Lich
shadow dropping
does say, "I don't spread rumors, dear child. I create them." And
I still can't believe they shadow dropped it. That was took me by surprise. I was not anticipating that.
And he goes, I heard there's a prophet down
there. Yeah, exactly. There's so many people downloading it right now. It's gonna.
No, Lucian, come on, man.
This is what time did to him. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I do love some of those lines. The cheese line really took off. I mean, the cheese for everyone.
I mean, I got you the sign specifically.
I know. Look at that. Cheese for everyone. It was just a couple of lines in the middle of Oblivion, and it took off and had a life of its own.
I mean, who doesn't love cheese? Though,
Everybody loves cheese.
If somebody said it to me, I'd be really happy.
Yeah. I went to Amsterdam with the ESO crew, and went to the cheese shop, bought a bunch of cheese, and took a picture out there, and everybody was just like, well, there he is in his natural habitat. Cheese. And there wasn't enough for everyone. Sorry.
That would have been a lot of cheese. You probably would have you had to ransack the whole shop.
You got to go through customs.
It's difficult. Nobody wants to deal with that.
Yeah. How much cheese do you think you're going to eat, sir?
Enough.
Enough cheese. Is there ever enough?
There's never enough cheese.
No, we're still in the Shivering Isles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're going to traipse around the Shivering Isles for a little while.
And look at some of the faces and the hair, so much more defined.
And this is something that does come in the remastered. You get all of the DLC with it.
I never played the DLC, so that'll be an interesting journey to take.
See, at Knights of the Nine, Pelin the White Strake, I was Pelin. But it's one of the ones that people don't think about. What's the guy's name? Begins with a U. Lives in a cave. You get the staff of Sheogorath from him later.
I'm looking at my friends off camera.
I forgot that I'd done the character.
Oh, really?
And I'm playing.
I guess when you do so
game.
Many, it probably is just like kind of blurs together unless it's something like really big, right?
Some of them really stand out. They're much bigger, but I was the torturer. I was the guy as the Hermes Columbus, the suicidal guy. Mm-hmm. Those are all fun roles to play. But
the funny thing is, I think it was about 3 or 4 months back we did that discussion on remasters and remakes, and I said that I don't normally go in for remasters and remakes because I prefer to play new IPs, and then they come out with 2 fucking remasters and remakes within the same month that I'm gonna dive into, which is the Days Gone remake and Oblivion remake. So
I murder him, I swear. I mean, just not yet anyway.
Makes me close my eyes and shake my head and go, Jesus.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. If there were more new releases happening right now, I wouldn't. But the only new release I have right now is Expedition 33 until Doom: The Dark Ages.
On the whole time.
In the middle of
do that lockpick quick. I remember we did an Oblivion stream.
That's a little different,
a couple years ago, and it was like torture watching my friend try to do the lockpick and just failing every single time. But, yeah.
Man, I gotta think hard and heavy about what I'm gonna play when I get back this afternoon. I don't know what I want to play.
Skeletons, when it takes them an hour to pick a lock. And they're saving and going back again and again and again. It's like, call me.
It's funny at first, and that was a live stream too. So it was funny at first, but then it's just like, okay, all right.
I've always played a rogue in the Elder Scrolls games. Always.
The live stream.
So can you tell us anything about your first interaction with Bethesda Game Studios, like how you started with the team here?
My first game was Morrowind. And I went, we were recording at a place called Absolute Pitch in D.C. A fellow by the name of Chip Ellinghouse was recording us. But my director was Todd Howard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we sat there and went through all the different.
It's down to
characters
2
and
hours for me on the
Bretons
Xbox, guys.
different,
So I'm just gonna actually turn the
Daedric
Xbox off
gods
behind the
and,
scenes here, and
some
it'll definitely be
orcs
done by the time I get
and all
back from
sorts
physical
of things.
therapy.
We're having a
So
good time.
expect me to
I
be
do
back
remember
after my
going down
PT
to
today
Oblivion and getting
and
Oh, yes.
playing.
taking a break and getting a chocolate croissant and just chatting, walking. And the thing is, Todd's always been very passionate about these games. You know, that's the thing that people don't. I don't think people realize just how deeply enmeshed into the game world he is. I mean, the old top-down turn-based type games, the board games, things of that sort, and to bring the spirit of those into these worlds. And, you know, Morrowind was kind of a real departure for the Elder Scrolls, which had been much less graphically robust.
That was a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. And,
It's retro. Don't worry about it.
yeah. And the voice acting was very sparse then. It wasn't even that much more in Morrowind, but what was there was really fun and really good to do. And I started playing that game, getting 700 hours in. You know how it goes. You think, I'm going to play for half an hour before bed, and the next
Without
thing you
question.
know, birds are chirping outside, and your day is toast.
What day is it?
And you go
What
to sleep
time
and
is it?
dream in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Which was interesting because I had not had the experience of I've done some games and things of that sort. I played.
I love the
I
loading
think in
screens. All of
Unreal
this
2,
gameplay footage they're
like
showing looks really
200
cool, by the
different
way.
people dying in 500 different
Oh
ways.
my gosh.
I was basically the equivalent of a Wilhelm scream. And this one I really wanted to play, and I got into it, and I started dreaming.
I'm gonna do a
and
rogue, like a ranger. I'm
when
gonna do
I
like a
started
rogue
voicing
archer build,
Oblivion,
probably. Again, I love
I
like
knew
the
where to close
ranger
my
rogue
eyes
archer
and
builds
see the world
in
around
Elder
me.
Scrolls games.
Now,
So
maybe in Oblivion I didn't see any silt striders.
probably
There
a
were
wood
no,
elf.
boots of that would help me fly from one end to the other. Thank God there were no cliff racers.
You mean you don't want to hear the screaming sounds of the cliff racer as you close your eyes and try to sleep?
Yeah,
I
Salty Crow.
got
What
some
an
real
interesting
Samuel L.
surprise.
Jackson,
Yeah,
George
Sherrard.
quotes in on those
Bethesda's
cliff
dead as a
racers along the
company.
way. Yeah,
Where are the grifter bots now? They're over in the
I
corner
saw
giving Todd
that
a reach
world.
around. That's where all the grifters are right
And I
now.
lived in that world because I lived in the world when I was playing the game.
Luke
And I
Stevens has got
discovered
his Todd
something.
Howard
The
candle
more you play the
illuminating
games,
his
the more
knee pad
immersive your
situation.
performance can become because you know the
I
world
got it.
not
Sorry, that's probably a little crude, but I
like
just
everybody else is going to know.
I can't
The
wait to
games
hear
become
how the
so-
grifters
like
spin
almost
this
virtual
to
reality
be
is
somehow
sunk
proof that
into
Bethesda is failing.
These worlds become sometimes even more
Oh,
real
man.
than your own world. I was able to take, I started working with Mark Lampert, and he was like, with the Imperial Guards, let's go less what you were doing with the Bretons. I want you just to give me, these guys are full of testosterone. And we found the voice that we wanted for that. And so the Imperial Guards are the first ones that I did. But then I started doing some of the other characters.
There were more than
I'm
500,000
really
people
proud that
watching
Lucien Lachance
the
was one of the first
YouTube and
voices
Twitch
that
streams.
ever
This
broke
game
through
is gonna.
the voice class system.
Yeah.
I
Elder
guarantee you this
Scrolls.
is gonna
And by
this
the
is gonna
time
have
Shivering
like
Isles
10
came
million
out,
people playing it over the
we
next
had
week.
a bunch of different voices suddenly. It really changed things a lot.
That's it, Sherrard. That's exactly
so
what they're going to say. Bethesda's
watching it
dead.
grow
The only way
and
they can
bring
have
these
success
things
is
and
by
be able
going
to
back in
perform
time and
alongside
reinventing the
folks
old
like Linda
games that were
Carter,
actually
who's
good
been
because the
with,
new games
Yeah.
they have suck.
our party for Oblivion, a lot of the big game parties have been pretty crazy at different places. Oblivion, in a way, was kind of a lot more sedate, but still was big at the time. We went on like
The good
this
news is
one
today
cruise
is my
ship
last
on,
day
the
of
Potomac,
electrotherapy and
where they
physical
had dinner.
therapy, which
And
is an
we're all
hour-long
out there
session.
hanging
So
out
I have
and,
4 more
eating
sessions, 2
dinner,
more
going up
weeks
top,
of just
recreating
physical therapy,
Titanic
and then I
scenes
think
on
I'm
the edge of
done.
the boat.
As you do.
So
as one
my
does,
sessions will be
yeah.
shorter the following
And
Tuesdays
it
and
was so
Thursdays
fun
after
and getting
today.
a chance
So
to see and talk with
we'll be able
Linda
to get
Carter,
longer
who
streams
turns
in
out
and
is also
a shorter break in between the
huge
streams.
Washington Capitals fan.
Starfield is a great
Also a
game,
win.
Mika.
Yeah. And that the capital stuff came into play. Because when I started doing the
I am
arena
Phantom
announcer,
X. Thank you very much. Still having issues, but
I'd been
a lot of
doing
progress. So
the capitals for about, I guess we started recording this, what, in 2003? So I'd been the arena announcer for about 3 years. And I was learning who I was and doing things.
I have a very militant physical therapist now, though.
asked
The
Mark,
original
"How do you wanna
guy,
do
they
the
shifted
arena
everybody
announcers?" Like,
around.
you know, kind of what you're doing
And
with
the
the
lady
cats,
I have
only
now, she's
on
not even.
steroids,
She's a
'cause
she's a
these
young.
are-
She's in
these
her
are
20s, and she's very
gladiators.
militant.
Okay. So I brought that oomph. I
Si no
unleashed
duele,
the fury. Yeah.
no va a
You know,
curar
good
nada.
people of the city
Tienes
of
que sentir el dolor de la
welcome
terapia.
to the arena.
Si no sientes el dolor en
And
la terapia,
I started
nunca va
taking
a
some of
curar su pierna.
that
Entonces, aguántate,
that I did with
aguántate, aguántate.
Oblivion and bringing it to the capitals. And the two of them began to merge together until I became sort of over the top with people going, "You're not old school. You're not classic. You're just a rebel punk is what you are." I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. So I'm a rebel punk, but I'm out there unleashing fury.
How many people
I'm a
are
fan
watching
with
this,
a
by the way, still?
microphone,
Because I
and
know
I'm
now
going
we're in the
nuts.
gameplay reveal,
And a lot of the
yeah, see, it
development
dropped
into
way
that started
down. There
with
was like
Oblivion.
500,000 people just on YouTube, and it's down to
What's
100,000 now because everybody's
weird
gone
is
off to
that I've
download
been
it
doing
and
that now for 25 years
play
for
it.
the Capitals. And in that time, as other people retired and left the job, all the people who are out there saying, "You're not old school, you're not traditional," started replacing the old school and traditional guys with people who sounded like me and were doing the things I did. So 25 years later, guess what? I'm old school, doing what I did when I was a young punk. So, you know, thank you, Oblivion. Thank you, Mark, for helping change how I do things, you know, and that's the thing. Over this period of time that we've
I'm
done
really
these
interested to
games,
see
over
because
this period of
I
time
got
that we've
exceptional. Like
worked with all
Starfield is
these
still one
different
of my
characters, I'm
biggest
constantly
stream
learning,
games. Like
and
I
we're
get great
constantly
traffic every time I
growing
do
and
Starfield.
constantly
I'm very
grateful
interested to
for
see
the
what the stream numbers are
opportunity
going to
to
be
bring
like. The
new
afternoon
characters
slots
to
are not
life,
my
like
big slots. I because I have
Johannes in the
I have
Gold
an
Road,
international audience with a lot of
where
Europeans and
it was
Australians who
very
don't
emotional. It
necessarily
was a
get to
very
watch the
emotional
afternoon
piece, and I
sessions
was
when I do
able
them,
to,
but they
as a
like we
parent,
always have
everybody
double the
has
numbers when I
regrets,
stream in the
you
mornings
know,
because that's
no
when I
matter how
have my
good a job
international
you've
audience.
done,
So
you
I'm
have
very interested to see what
regrets.
the stream numbers are going to be like
And
this
I
afternoon
channeled that
versus what they're
into
going to
this
be like
character
tomorrow
who
morning. Because this is going to
died
be a hot
and
topic over
left
the next
things
few
unsaid
days.
and undone with his son, and is given a chance through, you know, the magic of this world.
Today's
And
Wednesday, right?
Emmaus and all sorts
Tuesday.
of things,
So
to
I
be able
get
to come back
today
and
all
try
day
to
tomorrow
make
to stream
amends.
Oblivion. Then Thursday we'll
And it
start
was
Expedition
hugely
33
emotional
and we'll
for me.
balance these two.
Especially since you
That's
say you put so much of yourself into the
Yeah.
characters
Gotta be
you're
busy.
doing.
Yeah. And after we were done and I was working with DB, and
Didn't
I
you hear,
said,
Hector?
wow,
If this game doesn't
that one
see
was, that one was
the
a
six,
little
if they
intense.
don't
And
make
she's like,
150
yeah,
million
yeah.
dollars off of
I
this
love
game,
working with her. It's
Bethesda's
like a
gonna go
waltz,
out of
it's like a
business.
dance, you know. But
That's just how this works. Like
I see something after the game comes out. Somebody has a photograph of some dog looking really sad in the back seat going, "Who is the actor for Johannes Verlaine? They just killed me." And I'm like, yes.
Nailed it.
Because if you don't feel it,
there
they
you go,
don't feel
Michael.
it. And I'm a fan of the games. I'm a fan of the worlds. I'm a fan of every one of my characters. Even the bad ones have their reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get into that, and if you can feel
I'm supposed to be
that,
getting ready
and
for my physical
I can
therapy.
make it real for me, then maybe
If
I'm
they don't
making it
stop
real for
soon, I'm gonna
somebody
have to
else,
wrap it up
and
anyway
it
because I
becomes
gotta
immersive
go
for
do
them.
stuff.
So,
I still got chores I gotta
Let's
do.
say without question.
yeah.
Well, speaking to that point, what do you hope that players experience or feel from the characters that you portrayed in Oblivion? Who may be experiencing it for the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Maybe
moment
they
I
are
cut the
returning to it
video
and
out,
having played
Hector,
the
about
previous
how,
version of Oblivion.
and I did say at the
think
end of the
that,
announcement, I was like, well, I'll be
it makes
damned. I
me
did not
very
expect them to
happy
shadow
that
launch
these
today. I'm gonna
characters
have
are gonna
all
get a
sorts of
second
grifter bots
chance.
jumping down my throat.
The Imperial Guards.
You were wrong.
You know,
You were wrong. Everybody else is
even
right.
in the strength of
The leaks were right.
everyone took an arrow to the knee. You know,
It's never official until
even
Bethesda makes it
with that
official, so
coming
I
around,
really don't
people
give a
still
shit if
remember
the
the
leaks
Imperial Guards of
proved
Oblivion,
to be
Oh, yeah.
accurate or not.
you know?
I don't base my life
I would
around
say I
leaks.
see
I
them
base my life
probably
around what do the
second or
game
third
companies
most
actually produce.
all Elder Scrolls titles, right?
But they're going to come out of the woodwork and
Jess
slaughter
over
me.
Here. Another Jess.
They jump scared me.
Downvote my video.
I've got core memories that I reacted because they would spot me stealing something, and yeah.
Well, I scared myself once playing the game. Oblivion, I'm up in one of the towers, and one of the
Even
Oblivion
a broken clock
gates,
is right twice a
and I
day.
do
Exactly,
the Dremora, the Daedric warriors that suddenly pop up and fight and battle in the middle of Oblivion. And it's the middle of the night. I'm walking up a winding staircase, and suddenly I come out. Sorry, Finn. And I
like, I didn't sign up for this.
I jumped, and I'm like, holy hell, I just scared myself.
Well, I was going to ask, do you find that you can disconnect from the characters that you've done and your voice in the game when you're playing as a player?
Yeah, the thing is, when I'm playing the games, I am the character that I'm, I'm with the controller, that's me, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll listen to hear if the voice is immersive or if it stands out, if it didn't work. If it worked and it's fine, I'll let it go and I'll just enjoy the environment. That being said, there's something about people who are like, well, what do you play as? I'm like, I play as an Imperial. And they're like, every time? I said, yes, yes.
That was going to be a question.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm going to be out there and I've got a big broadsword and I'm battling going, it's my voice. I'm the one who's actually doing the battle.
That makes sense.
As the Imperial, there's something kind of meta about that.
Yeah, totally. Don't look at the screen, Finn.
Oh, man.
You're feeling a skinned hound.
Yeah, you're not a skin hound. You're a furry hound.
Sorry, Finn.
Yes, you are.
So if you, as yourself, as Wes Johnson, were to be in Cyrodiil, who do you think you would be? Would you be like an adventurer or an alchemist or a sneaky archer?
Well, that's the thing,
Probably
Sherrod. They kept moving the goalposts back so many
always
times.
the
What
big
about the
sword
50
guy.
times they were wrong over the last 6 months about it's coming next
going
week,
out
guys?
and doing
I mean, we've been
stealth
joking about that on stream for like
people that
4
are
months
going
now,
arrow
5
from
months
distance
now.
is kind
Every
of
month,
fun
it's like every
occasionally.
2 weeks
But
they come
let's
up with
be
a new
honest,
date
we played this game
that it's
because
supposedly
we had
coming
had a
out, and they
bad
were
day. We
finally
want to take a broadsword and chop somebody up,
finally got it.
and
Even this
and
German
not
old
go
That
to
tree
jail
mob
for
looks
it.
really cool, by the way.
Oh, look at that!
Which
Yeah,
is terrifying, by the way.
yeah, big flame.
Man, that's
Are they
making me
those-
want
those
to pull out
are
a katana build.
scary, and the liches. And
I'm just gonna say that while I'm very excited to play this myself, I'm so glad that I have to do it on here because I would be really sucking trying to multitask.
I do love the running around, getting involved in things. Now, I know I'm not the only one that at the end of a big session, I save and decide to murder the entire town.
Yeah, totally.
Gotta
That's
kill
just what
Murder
I do.
hobo.
everybody in town.
It is always important to save, especially for reasons like this. Pro
And
tips.
then you come back after you've murdered pretty much everybody, and you go back to that original save. Don't they somewhat be like,
That was
I'm
just
feeling a little
in
uneasy
your head
suddenly.
what your character was doing, and then it goes back and snaps back into reality.
I think all the Dark Brotherhood quests are so cool. The party is a very good one. Where you have to go around the party and knock a bunch of people off and they don't know it's you. I mean, who's not had that experience?
The amount of diversity and range in the types of quests that are in Oblivion and stories that you hear are definitely exciting, and you can't wait for people to experience those or re-experience them.
So when you
Sorry, guys, I had to step away and
Oblivion,
check in with Chris. She's
initially, what stuck out
wrapping
for
up
you?
her chores, getting ready to take a shower.
Just, I mean, the vastness of the world, like how expansive it was and how beautiful it was. I'm one of those people that plays.
I got about 15 minutes
where
max. If they don't wrap
there's
this
a
up in
quest
15
marker,
minutes, I do
I'm
gotta
just gonna go
bail
another
before.
direction. I like, oh, what's over here? Oh, what's over here? And just the amount of surprise and gifts that keep on giving in terms of the world building of Oblivion just was like, it blew my mind.
There you go,
I started
Mika.
with
Have
Fallout
fun.
3 for Bethesda Game Studios titles.
Yeah.
So I was like not expecting to, I mean, I knew it wasn't Fallout, but I was not expecting to jump in and be like, oh, this is like completely vibrant and different.
Right,
And
right.
exciting.
Yeah, Thandar.
So I just loved that. And
I get to eat crow about the shadow drop because I did not think that was a legit thing. I could have sworn they were gonna announce a release date with a pre-order,
and haven't met him once.
Then they just said nope today, and I just went, well, fuck. Now I'm gonna rearrange my whole schedule.
In DC, someone's like, Patrick Stewart's downstairs ordering a sandwich. I'm like, Patrick Stewart eats sandwiches. We have that in common. I eat sandwiches. And by the time I got down there, they'd this place that is notoriously slow at putting out sandwiches got his lickety split and he was gone.
Oh man, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Here you go, Wes.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, well, look at the hair. It looks like I've been using a little Grecian formula.
So what do you think now, almost 20 years later, seeing this take on Sheo?
I've always loved this Sheo. I've loved this outfit. He looks a little bored.
I think he's just
I'll definitely get eaten alive later today, sure. The moment I go clip that announcement video out that it's coming today, I'm gonna get shredded by the trolls.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's part of the job.
But I think he looks a little bit more like me. Here I've been mantling him all along, and now he's mantling the old me.
Definitely the facial hair. You need to get in on like the golden eyes, so.
Well, I have those contacts for when I go out to cons and things of that sort. After about an hour, they feel like little clay pigeons on my eyeballs.
I can imagine it was probably not very comfortable.
But they're great for staring contests. People don't want to continue to look you in the eye.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. It's just like darting away, and it's like I can see you now looking at me right in the eye.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for anybody that would potentially want to get into voice acting or pursue a career in voice acting?
I would say first things first, get yourself a recorder, whether it's a handheld recorder, something, we have them all on our phones now. You can build yourself a studio pretty quickly and easily, but you got to work on the dead sound. But just the handheld recorder, get some dialogue and start reading this dialogue. And when I say read, I don't mean read, because it sounds like you're
Babylonia is sending me messages on Discord freaking out right now.
It sounds like you're acting. You take somebody out of it. I need you to just become. Look at those lines and remember that your job is not just to read what's on the paper. It's to bring it to life. And voice acting also includes breathing, sighing, laughing. Make it natural. Bring emotion to it. Try different things. I do a class through a theater lab of teaching.
Somebody just posted a picture of a plate of crow in my Discord.
One of the things I work with people on.
That's in my Discord.
You record the stuff.
I'm being told to go eat crow. Yeah, Patrick Stewart is in this game. Sean Bean as well.
Ideally, you're 100% in character and you're not thinking about all these things. If you give yourself 2 days distance, you can listen to it a little more objectively.
Yeah.
And then you say to yourself, that's when your director comes in, or your technical director. Never while you're performing.
Oh, that was user in Anthem? Oh, I didn't see who it was. I just saw your message on Twitch.
Because you're not just training your voice. You're training your ear.
Sean Bean plays the guy you meet when you go up into the... Fuck, it's been so long since I played.
To succeed at something.
You go up into like the monastery or somewhere.
And so
I don't really remember. It's been so long. It's been 20 years ago. Martin. Yeah, that's the name of the character.
They get little lines and things of that sort to work on. And we discuss it. And what did they hear? What are they doing? And I don't ever listen to it. I want them to listen to it. And
so, guys, this is nuts. So just a quick, as they're finishing up here. So
that 6-week course
it's going to be a crazy next couple of months for me, because here's the thing.
Their own.
So right now, we're doing Oblivion this afternoon and tomorrow. Then we've got Expedition 33. We've got the Days Gone remaster.
Yeah.
We've got
the people who were serious about it. Continue.
Those three things are happening.
Continue to
this
do something
weekend.
That every time you go out for an audition,
on top of that, I can't give you the exact date yet, but I can say in the next few days,
where you can go in,
I'm allowed to start publishing my
doing mods.
my Dune Awakening footage.
It's important.
And
First
I
of
can
all, if
announce
you do a
the
mod and you do it
dates
well, you're
for
going to
the
have stuff that you
Dune
can use in your
Awakening
demo.
open
Right.
beta,
Also,
which is happening
these
in
people are
May. And then we have
up-and-comers
Doom
in
the
the
Dark
industry.
Ages. And then we have
And
the
word
Star
of
Wars
mouth
DLC
is
in
very
May.
important.
And then in June, we've
So
got
if you can start on a ground level with somebody who's starting out and they begin
the Dune Awakening
to know
launch.
you and
We've got
trust you,
the Altars. We've got Tales of the
and
Shire.
you
We've got Death Stranding
grow
2.
and learn together.
I'm just going to have to tell my wife
That's
that
the best.
I just need to stock up on coffee the next couple of
So
months.
I would say if you want to do it, do it. And make that part of your job is going out there and looking for auditions. You can look on Backstage. You can look at Actors Access. If you're in the DC area, there's a thing called DragonUpConnects.com that shows free auditions. And then
Yeah,
go
this
to
weekend,
Casting Call
it's going to be
Club
nuts, guys. I have so much content
online.
coming out this weekend.
If you do take my course, we have a Discord group, and it's just full of my alumni, and they all share.
I'm sure everybody is really helpful and
They help each other,
with their experiences.
and that's the thing. Work with people.
Oh man,
who
so
work.
I'm gonna have to.
Not with
Yeah,
people
we've
who are
got.
like,
I'm gonna
"Oh,
have
I
to
could
sneak
do
in
it."
a launch
Wanted
day
to.
session of
Everybody
the Days
can.
Gone
If I really
release, just
wanted
to
I'd
have
be
it there
better
so
than
that people are
anybody
aware
else.
that I'm doing a
Have you been
playthrough.
doing anything about it?
Um,
No, but someone will offer me a job eventually. Now you got to chase everything.
Monster
down.
Energy drinks.
You got to do it because you love it. That's it. Nobody's getting rich doing this, but you have to love it.
Yeah.
Oh, and God help me, Jess, I love it.
Great life advice.
Yeah, that is just great life advice. You heard it. Do it.
All right, wrap it up, kids.
young
I gotta go
Balrog's
to
not
physical
gonna get
therapy,
any
and I
older.
still gotta go clip videos
And then
out
you
so I
can
get it on
immortalize
YouTube while I'm
yourself
at
forever in a
PT.
video game.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Multiple characters, like Wes, if you're lucky.
And to see this come back all these years later, and it's going to be, I think this is going to be huge. I think people are just
Oh, it's
gonna love
already
it
huge.
all over again.
Well, they don't have to wait much longer because it is available today.
Go get it.
Go get it. Go download it.
It's already downloaded,
on
kids.
Xbox Series X, NES, and day one on Game Pass. It is also on PC and PlayStation 5. So.
And I don't know what you're waiting for. You're sitting around. It's not going to just drop into your lap. Go find it. Go get it.
I got
Or
nothing to
I'll
add to
come
that.
Get you.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much, Wes. And Finn.
Finn?
You're an excellent co-host, Finn.
Finn, say bye-bye to all the peoples. Bye.